Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is How Pro Smurf, featuring a random rank 100 player. When we're talking laning phase, I feel like the most important aspect to talk about is how the 6k player harasses the offlaner. The lane starts wonky because they get an early first blood on Centaur, and while the supports went for ganks or pulls, he was facing Centaur by himself. A lot of carriers in this bracket just care about last hits, and the offlaner pretty much doesn't exist unless he's harassing him, and then they're just crying to the support. Luna though makes use of the creep wave being bigger thanks to the lane unbalance to harass Centaur, as we can see here. By staying in a dominant position, he can harass Centaur every time he goes for a last hit, and if he decides to trade, he will lose thanks to the huge amount of Krapos. As I said, we can see that he doesn't go in for harass, but rather uses Centaur's own last hitting to harass him during the downtime of his own last hits. He was also very diligent in range creep denying, which means that even though this is a solo lane, Centaur is losing it quite hard. This is the first time equilibrium was achieved in the lane, and even though his supports came in to leech some experience, he's 2 levels ahead of Centaur by zoning him instead of static farming. And another point to mention is how he only starts using Lucent Beam aggressively at level 5. The damage is definitely worth the mana at this point, and we can even see some top tier plays to keep the creep equilibrium where he wants. Since harassing Centaur here pushed the creeps a little bit too much, he uses Tinker to fix the lane. His harass was so effective that even with 2 TPs being committed by Radiant, they are not fast enough to help Centaur after this beautiful Fisher block. But in my opinion, the game starts now. According to this player, Dota is all about impact, and whether you're the one dictating impact or not. Not only he stacks the small camp as he goes for the shrine, he knows that 1. All the supports TP top. 2. Centaur already went back to that lane. And 3. If Luna goes bottom to contest anti-mage, he has no lane to go, and to top it off, there's a delicious creep wave approach in the tower. I mentioned earlier how much Lucent Beam impacted the lane top, and we see that the 6k player really wants to dominate this lane, and that's why he brings Clarities with him. I guess another thing to mention is how fearless he is, and that allows him to cancel AM's TP there. And it's not like he's fearless because he knows these players are worse than him, and maybe that's a little bit true, but you can see that the enemy support were fighting, which gives him safety to go deeper like this, and again, we see Lucent Beam being incredibly important. What happens now is that AM is stuck here or farming jungle, 2 terrible options. When he decides to leave the lane, pay attention how he times another stack with another shrine usage and rune pickup. Basically, he is dictating the entire Radiant line of movements, and they are the ones that are always stuck, while he has the decision to choose a lane to go that best fits his needs. When he goes back top, we can constantly see the thread switch Lucent Beam spam. What this achieves is put Centaur in a situation where ganks in that lane are always very unlikely. No one wants to go for a gank when they're about to die, especially against that farm Luna. The constant clarity usage, the thread switching, and obviously being higher level than Centaur, and also noting that he's not level 6, allows Luna to play like this. It's not all about farm, but impact. When Shadow Shaman tries to go in and create some, he gets beamed straight in the face, and even Centaur is not safe from it as well. Another small decision that might go unnoticed is the timing that the Divine player decides to farm the stack. If you pay attention to the minimap, Invoker is going ham on Tinker, and when stuff like that happens close to a tower, you expect the supports to TP and help, and that's actually what happens. So even though he only has 2 points in his passive and doesn't have his madness, he goes for it. The player told me that he feels that a lot of low divines and ancients care way too much about item timings and forget to play every game of Dota differently. While he doesn't farm this particularly fast without madness, he is 100% safe doing it, and that's what matters. It's not like he can take the tower, so what else can he do? Another thing that some players, especially those that feel like they need to be everywhere every time, could be a little bit in doubt is the Shaker TP here. I feel like some people would try to go to that lane. In terms of kills, the 6k player wouldn't be able to get any kills there since his TP would be super slow. They also have a Tinker on the Radiant side which would defend that lane if he goes there, so it's kind of a bet he's actually using a TP to go go to a lane where maybe he can take a tower, but maybe he can take top too, so it doesn't really make sense to go there. Instead, he keeps his TP to play around the enemy team. And now that he finally reached the farming power spike, he can farm the small camp he stacked beforehand and just utilize that part of the map that he didn't use earlier. After he takes his tier 1 top, he decided to pay AM another visit. While AM has Battle Fury, he is clearly not comfortable with Luna there. Since he knows how stronger Luna is in comparison to Anti-Mage at this point, he can pretty much play the game as if it was 5 versus 4, allowing him to farm Radiance camps and push the tower in a very aggressive manner. As we talked in one of my recent videos, pushing the lane guarantees that he can farm stacks safely, and since he went for one earlier on, the DD really helps him ramp up his farm. Not only he farms it fast enough to get another spawn, but his TP usage is also quite good. It might feel overkill, but without Yasha, he farms stacks quite slowly, so the TP guarantees that he farms the stacked ancient camp fast enough and without taking too much damage. He actually got 1.5k gold in 1 minute because of how fast he farmed. With the 1 minute Yasha, he's able to take this fight easily since he's out-leveling the enemy center and supports by 5 to 6 levels. The fact that he was that strong, while acknowledging that Radiant has only 4 heroes available at the moment, and also actually going there and fighting and pushing, puts his team from a 5k gold advantage to an 8k one in a couple of minutes. Luna is a farming hero, yes, but as you farm, other heroes also farm and get experience. Being strong in Dota is all about how strong you are in comparison to the enemy, and while a lot of people just try for an item timing like Manta or BKB, the 6k MMR player understands that with AM showing bottom, they can just power through it all. Also, center ult was down the entire time, the only reliable raid initiation, but that goes to show it's not really about how fast you can farm, even though this guy is farming incredibly fast, but when you actually decide to use that farm, and at this point, Anti-Mage is a non-factor. The fact that he forced me that early reveals this humongous ancient stack that Radiant made for his Anti-Mage, a terrible choice actually, since Anti-Mage takes a long time to farm something like this unless a hero is tanking it. What he does afterwards really showcases how he perceives this game. What usually happens when Luna players find illusion runes is that they send them toward the lane to farm. What he does instead is send them to farm his ancients while he goes to the lane. This is a type of game where pretty much every move that's not taking out tier 2s, getting Roshan, and winning is not optimal. When you have that big of an advantage, every support death and god forbid core deaths give an insane amount of gold and experience. So what he does is push mid by himself since he knows he's that strong, and then he goes bottom with his team, while the illusion rune farms the dire oasis. He even attempts a stack there, and I really like his take on using illusion runes. They actually last for a long time, but if you just send them towards a lane, they will probably kill one wave of creeps and then they will get killed. But by doing this, he's farming at almost double the speed for a long time, since the illusions will last for its entirety. This is one of the less meaningful plays of this game. It showcases how his brain is wired differently than us mere humans. 1 minute before, he went to that high ground but was afraid of doing anything since no one was pushing, and as time went by, Anti-Mage started forcing mid while they grouped up top. When he gets vision of every Radiant hero besides Anti-Mage defending the tower, he feels safe enough to go mid and cut AM's wave, and thus eliminating the only play that Radiant had for any trades whatsoever. The fact that he went top before though lured every Radiant hero besides Anti-Mage, which allows Invoker to solo kill the enemy carry uncontested here. And since Anti-Mage was dead, they can fight here with not a single carry in the world. And by utilizing the fact that his team is now forcing top again and mid is slightly pushed, he finishes his butterfly by disassembling the madness, giving him solo Roche potential at 21 minutes into the game. There's not much to talk about here afterwards, but as I said, actually as he said, impact is everything in Dota. Impact is not your net worth number, but your ability to mobilize enemies, force towers, kill heroes, push waves, force cooldowns, and he clearly did a lot of it this game. Well guys, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I need to know whether you guys like the new series I'm putting up or not, or if I should just go back to the Things I Learned series. I'm actually making one a week, but I mean, not every new series that I start is gonna be awesome, so just, you know, vote with your likes and dislikes. And by the way guys, I'm coaching via gamersensei, the link is down below. This video is sponsored by Pvgna. There's a ton of new content there, check the link in the description. And if you like supporting your content creators via Patreon, there's a lot of new rewards that you can find, so go check it out. I'm not a big fan of giveaways or making stream competitions, but since my Twitch is pretty much dead, I'm going to give away a coaching session. So the only thing you need to do is actually tune in the stream and watch as long as you can. For every half an hour you watch of my stream, you're gonna get crisps. This is the money, the tokens that you can utilize in my stream. And your chance to win the coaching session is bigger the more crisps you have.